I've returned to theater in the round. This is my home, and I feel it. The employment dilemma of 23. It's kind of like nothing we've seen in recent years. We have record low unemployment rates. We have record high levels of unfilled jobs. And yet over our shoulder hangs this cloud of recession. These things make no sense. Let's put it in perspective. I was privy to a presentation from the Federal Reserve, those people that control our interest rates and so on and so forth, a few years ago. And they talked about a concept of gross domestic product as a function of employment. And they graphed our performance, the US economy, against China. And China was doing 3, 4, 5%. And the US was struggling around 1%. And you need growth to have a vibrant economy. But alongside of that, they laid the demographics of the US population. They were looking for growth that was going this way. The population was going that way. And the answer to that problem was technology, manufacturing, and immigration. Well, we've milked technology for about whatever we could. We sent the jobs overseas, and we cut off vibrant immigration. That's the dilemma. That's what we face today. Now, how does it affect you and I and everybody else? I'm a small business person, Cycle City, power sports, whatever the case may be. We are the heart and soul of the US economy. So let me tell you what I experience, because the rest of you just read about it. But before I go any farther, I want to put my graph into perspective. And with the cooperation of the room, you will be my examples. So on the left side, you represent GNP growth, 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%. Of course, we'll never get to Carl, 5%. And on this side of the room, we represent available manpower. So we're chugging along about here. We got manpower about there, but we're looking for growth that's going to be here or here. So I need these and these people. The problem is these people don't exist. They've aged out. They're not participating. Now, back to the example of Cycle City. I need technicians. I need salespeople. I need all sorts of other things. But I need technicians to make this thing go. Technicians don't exist. So I go to a number of the training facilities. In this case, it's MMI, Motorcycle Mechanics Institute. They have 2 campuses. One's in Phoenix. And a year ago, last summer, I go out to Phoenix to interview 6 people that are graduating the next day or 2. Now, I've been there before. I've interviewed before. I've hired people before. So it's not my first rodeo. And I get out there and we're sitting there. It's about 9:30 in the morning. And the first guy sits in front of me, nice looking young fellow. And he says, Rick, I've been thinking about it. And I don't want to get dirty, greasy, or sweaty anymore. This is what this interview starts off of, short of, my name is such and such. So I thought about it for a moment. I said, how much did you pay to get to this point? Well, about $16,000. So doesn't that seem a little bizarre? Yeah, but I wasn't sure. So I went on to the second individual. He wasn't too bad. I thought we could make this work. So the next day I text him, because in today's world, you don't phone call people because they won't return your phone call. You don't really email younger people because that's not the way you do it. So you text them or some sort of social media connection. He didn't respond. So the next day I texted him, I said, are you still alive? Got an answer immediately. Yeah, I was doing that. I'll call you tonight. I'm waiting for that phone call. I've texted him 6 other times. Haven't heard a response. I believe the vernacular is I've been ghosted. Yes, I've been ghosted. Takes a while for older people to figure out what ghosted means. Ghosted means they just don't respond. That was and is my continued experience. Now, where is this going? I don't know. If you go back to the 70s, we had periods of very high inflation, and there was conversation about the balance of payments. I talked to Dave about that. He had no idea what we were talking about. Balance of payments. And that's where we were buying more than they were buying from us. And what effect would that have on us? Well, at the end of the 70s, it became very apparent. Our standard of living had changed because of that balance of payments. An individual could no longer plan with a single income of buying a house, raising a family, buying a car. Now, is that similar kind of change going to happen to the U.S. economy? The U.S. economy is the #1 economy in the world, followed by China. But things change, and there are impacts. When you are the #1 economy, benefits come. They just do. When you're 2 and 3, those benefits go away. Just ask the Japanese. Now, we talked about what the solutions are. Manufacturing, yeah, we're bringing some people back. That's a short-term deal. We're going to bring some people back, but they're going back overseas because the money will follow, the jobs will follow the money. We're milking technology for everything it's worth, but we're discouraging a number of the people that were helping us with technology, making this a very toxic place to be. And that was Eastern Europe, Asia, Russia, wherever, India. These people are no longer coming because why would you want to be there? But my silver lining is this. About 6 months ago, I made contact with Rodrigo. He is a technician in León, Mexico. And next month, he has 2 interviews, one to be documented and the second one to get into the US, and he may come in. So there's the silver lining. What can we do about it? Talk to those politicians. Sometimes you say, this is a complete waste of time, but talk to them. Tell them that immigration doesn't have to be a bad thing. We have this view of immigrations, people swim in the river in the Rio Grande. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about bringing vital people in from all over the world, because this is the world we live in. Talk to your politicians. Tell them, I was going to use now, just tell them to get on the ball. Mr. Toastmaster.